What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, July 2nd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. A bounce back of sorts last night. We wrote the basketball game like a script, so easy cashers all over that. But MLB was just 2-2 with the push, left some money on the table. You guys were absolutely right about what a deserved big favorite both the Red Sox and the Astros were. I deemed them both too expensive and left money on the table. The Giants-Diamondbacks game, I was right about Merrill Kelly having a nice start, but didn't cash that first 5 under 5, but the full game cash, disappointing. Milwaukee-Pittsburgh lost the first 5 over 4 by a run, disappointing. San Diego-Cincinnati first 5 under 5 cashed. Rockies' first 5 was a push, although they cashed the full game. And Mariners' first 5, a shout-out to Piker, a.k.a. Poker Addicted. I should have taken the Mariners on the money line. I safed my way out of it on the plus a half at minus 110. That would have changed. I would have had a winning day had I taken them on the plus 160 money line. Easy casher. Kikuch is the real deal. Kikuch, the real deal. So 2-2 down 0.35 units. So I'm still itching for glory and expect to get that right here, right now. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. We have a giant Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals that we will be discussing when the baseball breakdowns are over with our Mr. Gogster. Got Brian Watson in the house. Nilo ready to get to where Christopher Gargaro says, happy Friday, boys. Huge spin list today. Scherzer, Mize, Lynn, Montes, and Chichi are the biggest candidates. Urias, Walker, Gray, Happ, and Kenny not far behind others too. Lots of money to be made. Very interesting market moves. I had 5 games circled that I was going to really take a look at the overnights. And in the end, I moved on none of them, and the market moves were alarming. And sometimes we leave money on the table with the market moves, but they've saved us more money and could be making us more money. Us getting off that A's game was so hard for me yesterday. I thought that everything was pointing just from my own statistical analysis of the matchup, not from the market movements. Everything was saying, we'll take the A's here. Let me just pull up the numbers from yesterday very quickly here. So in that spot, I couldn't understand how the Rangers and Dane Dunning were taking money. Sean Manaea has been pitching so well. The Rangers don't hit lefties. The public was on the A's. The market had moved to the Rangers, and I was perplexed and had to let it go. And the Rangers win easily. So, and that was a perfect example of money I would have lost. I would have lost that bet last year, but we don't make it this year. And that's why our ROI is at plus 3.55% on almost 400 bets. So, got to keep doing what we are doing. There's Michael Irvelina, Alex Gagnon, Buzznut71, Raymond Reddington. Rockies game over. Astros team total over 5.5. Brewers team total over 4.5. Interesting. I came close. I just, I won't take those 5.5 team totals. So I came close. I took a long look at the Astros game. With 12 miles per hour wind coming in, free bet for sure I take it, but I just didn't want to put my money on that spot. And then the Rockies game over. A lot of sharp cappers are on that, so we'll discuss all of that. There's Ostino Liggett, Nigel Lee, Glenn Elliott, man, JW in the house this morning. All pumped to finally make a live show. Great to have you. There's Matty Ice says TAINT has had a rough run with some bad breaks. Back at it today. Yes, and look, when you've had bad breaks and you're still hitting at 61.5%. In TAINT we trust. Jared JB ready to go. Alex Gagnon, Jason Albert, Luke Murphy. Esteemed author Luke Murphy, double vaccinated and ready to go. I love it. There's Derek Garcia ready to eat. Billy Pilgrim in the house says, thanks, Christopher. I was wondering about Sonny Gray. I'm backing Sonny Gray today. He always has the Cubs number. He was on the IL for a non-arm related issue, groin strain. Mills, I don't know how Eric Mills gets through starts. I watch him and I don't get it. I think he's very vulnerable. Now he's coming off a decent job where he bent and didn't break against the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. I think he's vulnerable. Serious business, ready to get to work. Viper MB, J Dub in the house. Alex Ramirez started Spidey play day. Juan Ruiz, OG Lowbagger. There's Slats 45 says NHL. Habs need to score first. Habs score first, or Habs first period plus 1 in full game under 5. Coffee will score plus 425. I made 2 bets yesterday, and I'm very comfortable with my spots. Very, very, very comfortable. Extremely comfortable with where we're going to be. Von Polo in the house. Nutflush Allen says, morning, boys and girls, for myself and Mama Nutflush. We are sitting in the back with a cup of coffee, enjoying the best capping show around. What a guy. What a lucky man. What a lucky man to get to wake up every day to Mama Nutflush. Mama Nutflush. There's Sharpie says, I gave Rangers out in the Discord yesterday after digging into the stats. Texas should have been favored. It's wild. I looked at that Mania Dunning matchup and thought, how could this be? But great job. Great job. Slatsy says, please leave some time for Gogster. We're going to have a ton of time. I promise you that. A ton of time. Promise you. Danny A. Brewers -1.5 saved me yesterday. A's and Giants made it 2-2 day for me. Hoping for a better day. Let's get it. There's Leroy Flood, DC, Eric Jones, Brian Watson, Brian Warner. Says 5.5 team totals. Folks bet the over on those. Yeah, it's dodgy. It's dodgy at the best of times. All right. We got to attack right now, and the Taint play of the day is in. That's how we start our Friday. The Taint play of the day is in. Braves team total over 4.5 at plus 105. Taint in early. Taint! Let me copy and paste Taint here. Copy and paste Matty Ice's Taint in the Braves spot. Now, that was a game that I have bet. And Taint fading Pablo Lopez in the situation. An exciting bet. And I'm on the Braves first 5 at -110. As you guys know, I've always had a soft spot for Drew Miley. And finally, this year, it's paying off. It's finally paying off. All right, puzzler ready to go. La Bolsita. Yes. Platinum Paul. Soupy panties. Nice. Gundam Atticus. It's been too long. Razor sharp picks ready to go. 2-0 sweep for Razor. Yes, they 2-0 sweep for Razor. Okay, let's get right to work right now. Yes, Miami went from Thompson to Lopez. Yeah, that's why the line didn't come out. I did a radio show this morning, Rob Mike Richards, expecting to give out Braves. I mean, I did give out Braves first 5, but that's still not out at Sports Interaction. So there was some confusion as to who would be pitching. It is now time to get to work. Friday, July 2nd. We are sitting 187 wins, 155 losses, 54.7% plus 11.99 units, ROI plus 3.55%, average line minus 112. And let's go into the weekend with fatter pockets, shall we? We start at 6:05 p.m. Eastern. San Diego Padres at Philadelphia Phillies. These Padres 49-34, but 19-19 on the road. Philadelphia Phillies 37-41, but 22-15 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 75 Fahrenheit, overcast, 5 miles per hour, out to right field. I moved on the Phillies first 7 at -0.5 at -110. They were not offering me a first 5 run line. I could have got the first 5 at -140. I deem that unacceptable. And they also want to know something that threw me for a loop. The 4.5 inning line, which is something that I've been attacking when they don't offer me first 5s. They're offering you the Phillies plus a half at -160. Now, I know I said this with the NOLA start, but when I see them not offering Phillies -0.5 at a really nice price, only offering it on the 3 inning line, Phillies -0.5 at +130, but not offering it on the 4.5 line, not offering it on the 5 line, I just think this is a casher is what I think. Uncle Oliver on the other side. Uncle Oliver and I going straight up. Glenn Elliott Man says Wheeler has been a dealer. There is love having Uncle Oliver in the chat. And Razor Sharp Picks says a gambler's first glance. Stay tuned. Coming off a 2-0 day yesterday. Von Polo took Rockies -1.5 last night, plus 190. What a huge, giant home run that was in the bottom of the ninth for you, Von Polo, my guy. Okay, let's go. Paddock, Wheeler. Paddock 4-5, 4.64 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, 66 innings, 70 Ks, 16 walks, and 9 home runs. In his last start, he went just 2 1/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and 11.5 win at home versus Arizona. Going up against Zach Wheeler, 6-4, 2.20 ERA, 0.97 WHIP, 106 1/3, 130 Ks, 25 walks, and 7 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a 4-2 win at the Mets. The Padres hit righties well, 242, 735 OPS. The Phillies don't hit righties, 228, just 674 OPS. Padres bullpen very good. I'm happy to take this in the first 7, not have to deal with the 8th and 9th. The Phillies bullpen train wreck, 4.65 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. They've only converted 18 of 39 save opportunities. They're converting less than 50% of their save opportunities, and I can cut the last 2 lines out. Slots 45 says, why don't you switch books if Bet365 constantly squeezing you up? Because my local act says Bet365. And betting with credit allows me to bet out of my tax bracket. And 25% out, in and out every Friday is a really nice situation for me. You know, when you're down $1,800, or let's say $2K, and you know, you just throw him $500 and keep attacking. Obviously, he likes it. But on the other hand, when I'm up $2K, I like that $500 payout, and I like still having a nice, juicy, healthy bankroll to attack with. So I the situation benefits me. And if my unit size was able to go up, if I was able to take it to the next level, then absolutely, I would need to have. And then Pinnacle would be the main book that I would be attacking. But it's an offer I have that I can't refuse, and one I've been working with for 15 years. And it's a nice situation for me. And I know the guy well. So, you know, if I was ever unable to make a payment, I wouldn't have a broken finger. And he owns a comedy club I used to work at. We have the same friends. He can't bury me. Okay, let's get back to work. And there's Piker. Piker, what a call on Kukuc yesterday. I wish I didn't put safe my way out of it, but Poker Addicted 79 doing his thing once again. Okay, so back to this Phillies Padres spot. Phillies first 7 -0.5 for me. I got it at -110. Let's take a look at the baseball data here and decide exactly your plan of attack, because my plan is already in. Against Wheeler, they hit him 381, 1.042 OPS, but I don't care. Pham's 4 for 5 with 3 singles and a homer. Hosmer is 3 for 8 with 3 singles. But that's it. Myers 1 for 3, Machado 0 for 2, Caratini 0 for 3. They're 8 for 21. I say sample size is too small. I'll take Wheeler at home. Paddock gets hit by these guys too. 8 for 20 with 2 doubles and a homer. Real Muto 3 for 5 with a double and a homer. Harper 3 for 5, 3 for 6, excuse me, with 3 singles. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with that. Then we have the market move from -118 to -119, but the total's gone from 8 to 8.5. So -118 to -119. So that makes me a little uncomfortable. I'd prefer to be on a side where, you know, the market is worried about. But then I look and people are betting the Padres. And why wouldn't they? The Phillies can't hit righties. The Padres are a better baseball team. But I'm backing Wheeler here. So 46% of the tickets on the Phillies and 36% of the cash. So when I see 36% of the cash and the market not moving towards the Padres, then I start feeling good about the 1 cent move over there. So that is my first stop on this board right away, right off the top. Phillies, first 7 -0.5 at -110. minus 110. And stop breaking Jimmy's fingers. Yeah, no, the fingers are safe. They've always been safe. All right. Brian Watson said, glad Nats didn't re-sign Harper, like Soto better, but Soto's going to be gone from your team here in a minute. That's the problem with free agency with these monsters. Glenn Elliott Man says, Wheeler 1.69 ERA in his last 3. I would rather have this first 5, but I'll take it first 7. And the first 5 minus 140 really isn't that bad. And my limit this year has been minus 135. So it just sneaks over it barely. Okay. Let's get to work. Next up, 7:05 p.m. Eastern, LA Dodgers 50-31, 22-18 on the road at the Washington Nationals, 40-39, 24-19 at home. And there's Piker saying I'm on Brubaker first 5. Spoiler alert. I can't wait to talk about that game. That game's next. And that market moved immediately. As soon as that line came out in the Brewers Pirates game, the Pirates got hammered to the point where I couldn't bet them. But we'll get into that very soon. Dodgers, Nats Park in Washington, D.C., 75 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, sideways in. I wanted to attack the over in this game. We know that the Dodgers hit righties hard, and Scherzer is coming off a couple really nice starts, but the Dodgers are a patient team that can wear you down. Scherzer 7-4, 2.14 ERA, 0.85 WHIP. 88 in a third, 119 Ks, 20 walks, 12 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and the 5-1 win at the Marlins. Then we have Urias, who's coming off a spectacular start at home versus Cubs. He only made it through 5 and a third, but 12 strikeouts in that 5 and a third against a Cubbies team that hits lefties hard. So do the Nats. Nats are 261, 755 OPS versus lefties. Immediately, I thought, God, I would like to be on a first 5 over. Both bullpens are good. Dodgers bullpen 3.58 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, converted 28 of 44. Nationals bullpen 3.93 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, converted 20 of 28. But we go to the market, and I was staring at it last night, and huge bets had to have come in on the under. At one point, there was 99% of the cash on the under, and most of the tickets were on the over. Now that has come back as it, is evened out a bit. We now have 3,858 tickets in. We have 42% of the tickets on the under, but 90% of the cash on the under. And I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to get in the way of that. There's no reason for me to do that. We also have the Urias Dodgers with 40% of the tickets and 57% of the cash. That is tricky. Piker says Nats are hitting. I like Nats first 5 here also. And the Rusty Kuntz play of the day, Montreal plus 120. Record is now 4-1-1 after Bucks full game last night. There we go. I ended up only on team totals last night because my plan got screwed. And this happened, but my plan of Trae Young coming back and me getting even better line blew up in my face. Jefferson C says Max has given up less runs in his last 7 starts and Urias has given up home runs in his last 7 starts. Home run prop Schwarber. I like that look, Jefferson C. Sharpie says I'm glad all the cash is on the under. It's going over 4 first 5. I'm on it. Take it to the bank. Wow. Ballsy. So I have enormous respect for cappers like Sharpie, another capper who does it, Noli knows, a Matty Ice Star, the taint play of the day, going up against these market moves, going up against the syndicate's big bets. I respect it. I can't do it. I have to stick with what's been working for me. Nutflush Allen says, don't care about last night. Dodgers offense is still bad, still getting the public image of a high-powered offense. I hear you, Nutflush. I hear you. Okay, so let's take a look at baseball data here. We've already seen where the cash is. Baseball data. And it was the first 5 over that I was planning on attacking as well. Against Urias, they're hitting 340, but with a 758 OPS. So 16 for 47. That's 15 singles and just 1 home run. Against Maximus Scherzer, 169 average, 625 OPS, 13 for 77. Now, 8 of those 13 hits are for extra bases, but still 13 hits and 77 at-bats. But that's 4 doubles, a triple, and 3 homers. Sharpie says Urias has already passed his inning limit. He's never pitched this many innings in a year. All bad. Taking the spin rate with Max. It's an easy over. There's Mr. Gogster, who will be joining us for our talk on the Stanley Cup Finals Game 3 in Montreal. Piker says, if you think there will be runs, I sincerely don't think they're coming from the Dodgers versus Scherzer. Take Nats first 5, Scherzer at the plus price. Glenn Elliott Man says, national shortstop Trey Turner could miss a second consecutive game due to a finger injury. Guernsey, thank you. Yes, my mom is here. First time I've seen her in over 2 years. And it's nice, man. I missed her. So it's nice. So there's now 5 of us here in our one-bedroom apartment in Parkdale, not including the pigeons and their nest on my balcony. So 8 of us in total. But yes, she'll be making some appearances as we move forward. Not today, probably, but as we move forward. Matty I says, Nats first 5 money line is on my card. Okay. So no move for me. I had planned on the first 5 over. I'm going to be so interested if Sharpie's huge balls disregard for the big bets towards the under cashes. Yes. Mama Bag, she'll be making some appearances. She'll also be with me on Razor Sharp's horse racing show on Wednesday night. So don't worry. Other people asking for Mama Bag. I get it. Do you want to make a quick appearance? Yeah, I want to just quick one. They want to see Mama Bag. They want to see Mama Bag. Now you will be getting more of Mama Bag. But here is
how do we get in this?
There we go. Mama Bag. Wait. Let's move. Can you move the Jose? Can you move the? There we go. There's Mama Bag and Carter.
Yeah.
Right here. You will see more of Mama Bag. I promise you. She'll be in action. We got a big hockey game tonight at a buddy's place. Okay, so we move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 49-33, 23-15 on the road at Pittsburgh Pirates 29-51, 16-22 at home. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 67 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy out to right field is the wind. Adrian Hauser versus JT Brubaker. Now, this move was immediate. Sharps waited for this line to drop and destroyed it immediately. It was, I guess, what you expect from Sharps, because I completely get it. But we talk about risk reward, and do you want to have Brubaker at plus 140, or do you want him at plus 115? Do you want the Pirates at plus 140 or plus 115? Plus 140. And Piker says 2.67 ERA at home for Brubaker. Not only that, opponent's batting average against him 222. Not only that, 35 strikeouts to 3 walks. 35 Ks to 3 walks. Brubaker's a beast. But if I'm going to take the Pirates, I needed to get on in that early line, and I decided that I can't do it. So let's move over to this market here. So we'll take Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened the Pirates at plus 140 at 5:19 p.m. And then at 6:33 p.m., an hour and 4 minutes later, it was all the way down to plus 123. The steam hasn't stopped. It got down to plus 108. It got down to plus 105. I mean, just a huge, giant market move towards the Brubaker and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And look at this. 62% of the tickets on the Brewers and 57% of the cash. I mean, this is just wild. And Gambler's First Glance is Pirates money line versus the Brewers. I get it. Glenn Elliott Man says Brubaker has been one of Pittsburgh's best starters, and yet he's lost 5 of his past decisions. Look, Glenn, and that's another point. Like, I need to be rewarded. I needed to have gotten at plus 140. I still think that this is somewhat of a pick 'em. Let's break it down a little more. Adrian Hauser, 4-5, 4.16 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, 75 2/3, 60 Ks, 32 walks, 11 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 walks, 4 Ks, and a 10-4 win at home versus the Rockies. Look, the Rockies don't hit righties. I know they're hitting better right now, but they got to Hauser. Brubaker's last start is a perfect example of why you need to be rewarded if you're going to back the Buccos. He had a quality start. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, 3 Ks. But they lose 3-1 at the Cardinals, and he's even better at home. Piker says that's a full game, though. We're not taking the full game here. Look, I get it. And I can't pull up the first 5 stats because the sample size is so small. We're not going to get enough tickets in. Pirates bullpen is good. 4.02 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, converted 11 of 15 save opportunities. Brewers bullpen is getting better and better and better every day. 3.87 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, converted 24 of 38 save opportunities. So we go to baseball data. Hauser, 266, 769 OPS against them. They're 17 for 64. With Brubaker, they're hitting 229, 741 OPS. They're 8 for 35 with 3 doubles and 1 home run. It's good, but it's still not enough. Nice. Austin Staton heading to the Phillies game today in person. Very excited to see Wheeler deal. Yes, Austin. Cheer him on for me, baby. Cheer him on. Okay, so I had to stay off. Yeah. Razor says, Vegas said, oh, public, you like Brewers at minus 160? Here, take this at minus 140. Oh, you like minus 140? Take it at minus 120. Vegas loving all the action on the Brewers. It's a trap. I agree. I still want to be rewarded. And you have to be, for me. So, like, let's take yesterday, for example. Just as a market move situation. Now, I know it's quite different, but yesterday this happened. Yesterday, we had the Mariners, Jays first 5. It was at 5.5. It went down to 5. During the show, it went back to 5.5. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm going to move on it at 5.5. This is where I want it. When the show ended, it was back at 5. I don't chase. I'm not going to chase the 5. I needed the 5 to be a winner, not a push. So I stayed off of it, and it went over first 5 under full game. All right. Let's move, Pat. Now, I'm going to cheer heavy for my man Razor on the Buccos, but I can't. I do not want to be on the ass end of a market move. I can't be on the ass end of a market move. If I'm never on the ass end of a market move ever again, I will be a successful capper. All right, we move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. New York Mets at New York Yankees. We have rain in the forecast. 72 Fahrenheit, 7 miles per hour in the Bronx. Mets are 17-25 on the road. Poor road record, excellent home record. Yankees 41-39, just 22-20 at home. Taijuan Walker going up against Jordan Montgomery. Taijuan Walker, this is tricky. This is a tricky game because Walker's numbers against the Yankees are terrible. But I don't want to test the man. I think he's an excellent pitcher. And he wants the attention. He wants all eyes on him. He's going to get that today in the Bronx, and I don't want to go up against him. Let's break it down a little more here in Mets Yankees. This total opened up at 9.5 and has gone all the way down to 8.5. Wow. The Yankees opened up at minus 134. They're now at minus 148. Glenn Man says some rain around Yankee Stadium. Jose looking at a possible under spot here. So we have Walker. His last start was nice. 2-1 extra inning doubleheader win at home. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 Ks. 2.38 ERA, 1.03 whip on the season, 82 Ks and 79 in the third. Can't believe he's not in the Blue Jays uniform this year. He was a bargain, an absolute bargain. So we know that there's been a market move towards the Yankees. Let's go to the baseball data. And here we have Sharpie already saying Yankees first 5 minus 135. Mets are bottom in the league last 30 days versus left-handed pitching. Montgomery has allowed 2 or less to bottom 10 teams. Yankees are smashing right-handed pitching and hit Walker. Yeah. And Glenn Man says Mets 8 for 13 versus left-handed starting. That all makes sense to me. Let's talk about Taijuan Walker's poor numbers versus these Yankees. 344 average, 980 OPS. So he's 21 for 61. 4 doubles and 3 homers allowed. Stan 2 for 4 with a double and a homer against him. Andahar 2 for 2 with the double. LeMahieu 6 for 21. Judge 0 for 1. Sanchez 0 for 5. I don't want to test Taijuan Walker, honestly, but I completely get it. And it's a lot of juice here. Let's talk about Montgomery. 3-2, 4.06 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 82 innings, 80 Ks, 23 walks, 9 home runs. His last start was at the Red Sox, who've been hitting lefties very hard. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Quality start in a 4-2 win. Mets have very poor numbers versus lefties. I have the wrong stat up there. I have them versus righties. Yankees versus righties, 233, 716 OPS. Mets bullpen, 3.94 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. Yankees bullpen, 3.40 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. All right, let's see where the cash is. There's Trotwam in the house. So let's see where the cash is in this spot. Yankees, Mets. We have 60% of the tickets on the Yankees, 87% of the cash, 55% of the tickets on the over, and 78% of the cash on the over. And it's gone down to 8.5. Glenn Man says Mets lead MLB with 31 one-run games. Glenn Man is a good point since Yankees ended up with the day off yesterday while Mets had a tough game in Atlanta. I get this market move. And Loshak said on Tuesdays, said he wants to be able to start backing the Yankees as much as possible right now. He thinks they're going to get hot offensively, and it wouldn't surprise us if they do. Mets bullpen got bombed by the Astros. I see there's a Yankees bullpen got bombed by the Astros. I see the Yankees as a fragile team. Do I want them as this big of a favorite? Let's go to the inning props. First 3 minus a half at plus 115. They're not offering me the 5. First 7 minus a half at minus 120. Or I could take them full game minus 1. Spenny Penny Bombs in the house. Great to see you. Look, I just can't. If I'm going to back a favorite at this price, and for me it's anything minus 140 or higher, I just need every box to be ticked. And the way the Yankees bullpen imploded against the Astros, what I think of Taijuan Walker, because even though he gets hit by these Yankees, I have high expectations of him. And I can't move on it. But if I had a free play, for sure I'd move on the Yankees. Vital says Taijuan Walker, besides 2 bad road games versus the Nats and Padres, Walker's been reasonably good, gives you 6 innings on average, less than 2 runs. Glen Man, Yankees minus 1. Piker says you lay juice on favorites that are actually winning games, not them. There's Red Girl in the house. Great to see you, Red Girl. All right, so I mean, dude. So no move for me with the Yankees, but I completely understand Sharpie's look here. Okay, we move on. 7:07 p.m. Eastern. This one's going to be a lot of fun. But rain is an issue. It was supposed to be, the storm is supposed to come in here any minute, and it hasn't. It's still looking really nice out there when the show started. But Salem Field, Buffalo, New York tonight, rain, 8 miles per hour to right center. And the rain is a big problem here because Luis Patino, the 21-year-old Colombian fireballer, I want to watch pitch against Alek Manoah so badly. Patino coming off a rough start at the Orioles. I think this could be a tough spot for him. But rain's going to get in the way. There's my guy Joshua Kiokanlaya. Says it'll be in Vegas this weekend. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice, Josh. Do it up right. Manoah 1-0, 3.34. You're going to have great basketball. I picked up my mom at the airport last night, and CBS Sports Radio was on. And the guy was talking about how the Bucks were just a much better basketball team. They've been there and done that. They're going to take out the Atlanta Hawks. And I was just like, what kind of idiot is that what you took from game 5? From a home game, from the first game without your star? I mean, we've seen the script play out so often. I mean, people just get blinded by what they see. I do not think the Milwaukee Bucks will be playing in the NBA final. And I was shocked to hear this guy just so bullish on, Bucks being so much better, so much more qualified. Hawks just don't have it yet and all this bullshit. Okay, there's Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Great to see you, Guillermo. And there, Vincente Gigante says only 5 more weeks until preseason. Can't wait to be talking NFL. Yes, we're in talks with Bebsy and getting Bebsy involved again this year. But here we go. Patino versus Manoah. Manoah 1-0, 3.34 ERA, 1.11 whip, 29 2/3, 33 Ks, 11 walks, 7 home runs. If we ever get in a bar fight, if the Jays ever get in a bar fight, you're going to want Alek Manoah beside you. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, none earned, 0 homers, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a 6.5 extra inning loss at home versus the Orioles. I was very impressed with it because it was the second straight start against the Orioles, and he had enough in his bag of tricks. There's Sharpie with the Dirty K prop. Montgomery over 4.5 at -120. Says, was doing math and waiting for a number. Mets last 30 days, 28% K rate versus left-handed pitching. Last 15 days, 29%. Shocked. Thought it would have been a 5.5. There we go. The K rate is here. The K prop is here. Dirty K prop from our man, David Sharp. Montgomery over 4.5 Ks. Spenny, I'm all over. I put my bets in yesterday early, so I can't wait to talk about it. Okay, so with the rain being such an issue, I just can't. I do not want anything to do with the Blue Jays bullpen, although it's been a little bit better of late, and I need both these guys on the mound going heads up against each other. And I don't know if I'm going to get that with the possible breaks if they do start the game on time. So this is a simple no bet for me. Manoah opening up at -105. He's now at -120, so a 15-cent move towards. And the total sitting at 10. They have seen the opposition. Luis Patino has not. Manoah. Against Patino, they're 0 for 7. But that's such a small sample size. But I do think that they're both going to step up going head-to-head against each other. Two young pitchers that will be in this league for a long time. And I can't do it. I can't do it here, not because of the weather. We have 66% of the tickets on the Jays and just 46% of the cash. And the market moved towards the Jays. Very interesting. And then we have 56% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the under. All right. Yeah, I just saw that too, Turnsy. It's too bad. It's bullshit. Okay, we move on to White Sox at Detroit Tigers. Lance Lynn versus Casey Mize. One of my most bullish bets of the year was the last time these guys faced on the first 5 under. I was so confident in it. So confident. And I'm so confident in Casey Mize. I see these guys going up against each other. My immediate response, my immediate feeling is, well, let's go back to the well. But you look, and the total is being pushed to the over. Why is that? Why? White Sox 48-32, 17-18 on the road. Tigers 36-45, 19-21 home. Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. So I'm off of it. That's why. So I am off of it. Young Suave says, what have I missed? Young Suave in the house. At this point, I'm only on the Philadelphia Phillies first 7 -0.5, although I'd prefer to be on them first 5 -0.5. Then we've had very interesting games where lots of moves are being made. I'm not making any more I've got more coming up. Then we have the Dirty K prop on Montgomery over 4.5 Ks. And we have TAINT, Braves team total over 4.5. That's what's been on so far. Okay, let's go and finish this White Sox Tigers game off. So I wanted Lynn Mize under 75 Fahrenheit clear, 12 miles per hour out to right field. So there is a wind tunnel going over. Vital says, remember the rule at the White Sox, only bet if Grandal is behind the plate, not Collins. There's the czar in the house. Lance Lynn, 7-3, 2.06 ERA, 0.99 whip, 78 2/3, 90 Ks, 23 walks, 8 home runs. He only went 3 innings last out. And I believe, and I don't have that in front of me, but I believe that was a weather-related pull. 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and a 3-2 loss at home versus the Mariners. Casey Mize, 5-4, 3.46 ERA, 1.13 whip, 88 1/3, 71 Ks, 26 walks, and 13 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 3-1 win at home versus the Astros. I like Mize a lot. But why is this being pushed to the over? Robert Allen says the Mariners, Rangers, and Tigers are all great dog bets on his team right now. All right. White Sox versus righties, 249, 731 OPS. Tigers versus righties, 236, 702 OPS. White Sox bullpen, 3.98 ERA, 1.31 whip. Converted 23 of 37 save opportunities. The Tigers bullpen, 5.07 ERA, 1.50 whip. Converted 17 of 27 save opportunities. Vital says Lynn was known to use the sticky stuff, though. His whole forearm used to be covered. Yes, I've also heard that with the sticky stuff with Lynn, but I still think the Bulldog can get the job done. But the market doesn't think so. So let's break down what the market's thinking. First off, the total goes from 8 to 8.5 quickly. And now there's a 9 on the board at both Heritage and BetOnline. Lynn opens up at minus 158. He moves to 145 at Pinnacle, a 13-cent move towards Casey Mize. That makes sense to me. Against Lynn, they're hitting 179 with a 497 OPS. 12 for 67. Do you want to fade that? Against Mize, they're hitting 220 with a 664 OPS. It's hard to fade those numbers for Lance Lynn. Now let's see where the cash is. There's Ty Clinton in the house. What up, Ty? We have 26% of the tickets and 51% of the cash on the Tigers. So clearly, some big bets being made on the Detroit Tigers. Then we have 45% of the tickets on the under and 78% of the cash on the under. But it's, at what point did they bet it at? It's kind of confusing when the total goes from 8 to 8.5 to 9. So, yes, I would like to back Casey Mize. Yes. But I am not going to go heads up with the Bulldog. There's my guy Tease in the house. So, nothing. Nothing for me. Give me a free pick. I take Tigers first 5, but I don't want to go up against the Bulldog. All right, we move up to my second bet on this card. It is the Cincinnati Reds first 7, minus a half and minus 135. Again, Bet365 not offering me the first 5. And I want it because I want to fade Alec Mills. See if they've added the first 5. They never do add any of this shit. They make that decision before. Also, they're not offering the 4.5 at all. They pulled the 4.5 in this game. Very fishy bullshit that Bet365 is doing here. And I'm not going to let it get me off the trail. I'm on Sonny Gray and the Reds. And we also talking about Lodals Loshak, who's here on our show with Loshak in the Bag every Tuesday. Lodals wants to back a pitcher coming off the IL in a non-arm related situation. Gray's been on the injured list since June 9th due to a right groin strain. He made a rehab start for AAA Louisville on Saturday. 1 hit, 3 walks, struck out 4 and 3 scoreless. And I like him. And Alec Mills is so hittable. He can usually get soft contact, but he's so hittable. Look at that last start at the Dodgers. He bent but didn't break. 4 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 3-2 loss at Chavez Ravine. But he's got a 5.11 ERA. He's got a 1.59 whip, 26 Ks to 14 walks. It's a bad K to walk ratio, 37 innings. I want to attack him. And I'll attack him with Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray was rolling in his last start before the groin strain. 3 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks, and a 5-1 win at home. I don't want anything to do with the Reds bullpen. I want the first 5. And Reds at home in first 5 of the season, over is 20, under 16, 55.6% to the over. The Cubs don't hit righties, 216, 689 OPS. The Reds smash righties, 259, 777 OPS, the 3rd in the league. Cubs bullpen 3.11 ERA, 1.20 whip. I don't want to get into a tight late inning game against the Cubs. Their bullpen's strong, even though it's been hit a bit of late. Reds bullpen's been terrible. So let's go to baseball data. Baseball data, Mills only a 194 average allowed, but a 755 OPS. So they're 13 for 67 against Alec Mills. But 5 of those 13 hits are home runs. And Suarez has one. Votto has one. Winker has one. Farmer has one. And Castellanos has one. I like the Reds here quite a bit, man. So let's look at this market move here. Opening up at minus 158, now minus 154, a 4-cent move towards the Cubs. And even that I get full game. You know, when you have such a big advantage in the bullpen, why not? Why not take a big plus line on the Cubs? I get that. With the first 5, though, no such move. Reds open up at minus 160 at Bookmaker. An hour and 40 minutes later, they're at minus 180. Reds first 5 at this point is my favorite bet on the card. Should there be a bit of concern with Sonny Gray coming off the IL and a non-arm related issue? Maybe the slightest bit. Let's see where the cash is and if there should be any concern here. Cincinnati with Gray. So we have 56% of the tickets on the Reds, 87% of the cash. And the full game line moving towards the Cubs. Interesting. We have 56% of the tickets on the under and 99% of the cash on the under. So they think Alec Mills is going to have a nice start. CT Bay says Reds first 5, nice look, but price is expensive. I agree. It's expensive. But first 7, minus half, minus 135. Sterling Gentry likes the Cubs to bounce back tonight. You know, it's not an impossibility at all. But I like this spot. If we go to baseball data against Sonny Gray, they're hitting 112 with a 365 OPS. They're 11 for 98 against Sonny Gray with 2 doubles and 2 homers. 11 for 98. Jason Hayward's 1 for 20. Chris Bryant is 3 for 20. Anthony Rizzo's 1 for 9. Jock Peterson's 0 for 7. Javier Baez is 1 for 14. Come on, baby. Robert Allen says, I was on the Reds last night. And let me tell you, they had no business winning. The Padres outfield had 2 drops that caused runs. Score balls should never have been dropped. Oh, Sterling Gentry. Look, I like you on the no. Friends don't talk friends off of dog lines. Griffin, here we go. My man Griffin says, Jimmy, I'm a Cubs fan. I'm all over the Reds today. Cannot back them right now. Robin Allen says the Cubs are going to turn it around soon, guys. And Kyle Hintley says, Astros has screwed me last week. Lost my new bankroll, but going big tonight with them. They're going up against a lefty. I understand why you're doing it, but I've just been staying away from the Astros, and thankfully, although it was an easy casher last night on the minus 115, but it didn't look that way until the 5th inning. Uncool 22's got the Reds today. So I have the Cincinnati Reds first 7, minus a half, at minus 135. I've made no additions to my card at this point. We move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Speak of the Astros. Let's break this game down right now. Astros 49-33, 23-17 on the road at the Cleveland Indians, 42-36, 21-16 at home. Josh Keenan says, sounds like the Cubs are due. Look, we can't think like that. And the best thing for my ROI is when gas station said that you know, there's no momentum in baseball. There's no don't believe in streaks. And that goes against a lot of what I've heard in capping MLB over the years. And if we just take every game as a singular entity and don't worry about what happened the day before, the days before, unless it's a travel thing, then I think we're going to succeed. KCOHMMA says, if Sonny pitches like normal and Sonny doesn't look hurt or out of it first 5, easy Reds. He's using the L word. And there's the pigeons, as I have a nest now outside on my balcony. And that does sound like a male pigeon. I know the difference now. Fuck male pigeons, man. This is a female-only pigeon situation here. Get the male pigeons fuck off my balcony. Czar said, I took Reds last night. They blew the lead. They came back and won in the 9th. That game went late into the night. Okay, let's move on to this Astros spot. 70 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 12 miles per hour in. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't take the 5.5 team total over, although I get it. I absolutely get it. Lance McCullers Jr., 5-1, 2.94 ERA, 1.17 whip, 67 and a third, 73 Ks, 35 walks, 6 home runs. His last start, he went 5 and a third, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 homers, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and a 3-2 win at Detroit in a 7-inning doubleheader. Going up against Sam Hentges. Sammy Hentges has had a tough year. He's 1-2 with a 7.32 ERA, 1.99 whip, 38 Ks and 35 and 2/3, but 20 walks and 7 home runs allowed. Yeah, geez, that's better taking pigeon balls off my balcony. They do have tiny little balls. Not that I've been looking. I just want them off my balcony. I want those balls flying away. Last start for Hentges, 3 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs, 4 walks, 1 K, and 8-2 loss at the Twins. It was ugly. And the Astros destroy left-handed pitching, 285, 799 OPS. Indians, 231, 696 OPS versus righties. Astros bullpen bad. Indians bullpen's been bad too. A Sharpie double up. Astros first 5 team total over 2.5 and full game over 5.5. I get both. I like that first 5 team total over 2.5 a lot. The bullpen for the Indians has not been good. So let's take a look at the market move here in Houston. First 5. We'll start with first 5. Let's get this up here. Sorry. First 5, we have. What the hell's wrong? Oh, here we go. At Bookmaker, the Astros open up at minus 169. So Bookmaker brought this out at 8:30 in the morning. In 9 minutes, they were minus 195. In 9 minutes. So obviously that first 5 should have been attacked immediately when it came out. Yeah, I should. But now, I have the 2 baby pigeons on my balcony, and I've begun to care for them. Okay, so let's go to baseball data here. They've never seen Henches before. Will that help Henches? Probably not. Against McCullers, they're 5 for 18 with 3 doubles and a triple, 278 average, 919 OPS. Piker says Houston smashes lefties. McCullers is real good. I like Houston in every way, especially now. After breaking out of the slump, I think they make good use of this Cleveland series. Yeah, Eric Rosas, I've come full circle. From despising pigeons to being very protective over my chicks. Okay. So 16% of the tickets, well, I'm going to go to the Astros side. 84% of the tickets on the Astros, 75% of the cash. So that's interesting. Then we have 62% of the tickets on the over and 87% of the cash on the over. And let's go back to this full game total here. Money line and total here for Houston. Let's go back to this total. Opened at 9.5 and went to 9. And the only explanation for that has to be 12 miles per hour in. Why else? Eric Rosas says, Jimmy getting soft in his old age with the kiddos? Yeah, probably. Sharpie says, I've never been a big McCullers guy myself, so hot and cold. I do trust the Astros for left-hand pitching, so team total for me. I get it. Griffin says, definitely lean Astros. It seems like they're going to break out this series after being in a slump. DX Filer now. Okay, so look, I completely get everybody's move on the Astros. I've stayed away from them as the big favorite. I haven't made a bet on them in weeks now. And with the wind blowing in, everybody on the over, I completely understand it, and I will cheer you guys in, but I'm not going to be putting my money on it. Okay. And Robert Allen says Astros run line next 2 or 3. Indians look like a tired squad. They're losing games in a hurry. All right, we get to 7:20 p.m. Eastern, and those of you who are just joining us now are here at the perfect time, 7:20 p.m. Eastern, and we've reached TAINT. Sweet TAINT. The TAINT play today is the Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5 at plus 105. But I am on the Braves first 5 at minus 110. There is North Ender in the house. North Ender. I'll be thinking about my Montreal guys tonight, you and Slatsy. Be thinking about you guys, man. Going to be drinking heavily, watching your boys. And I've got money on the line. TAINT play of the day. Braves team total over 4.5. TAINT is attacking Pablo Lopez. 78 Fahrenheit, overcast, 6 miles per hour out to left. Pablo Lopez, 4-4, 2.87 ERA, 1.08 whip, 91 innings, 94 Ks, 22 walks, 9 home runs. Speaking of which, North Ender, I've never cheered for the Montreal Canadiens ever for 1 second in my entire life. Ever. Even when I bet on them, which I don't remember doing often, I've not cheered for them. Being a double-edged sword. I'll take the money, but I want them to lose. And that's how my dad raised me. And look, in Vancouver, when he would go to games, in Montreal play, there'd be more Montreal fans than Vancouver fans, and he'd end up in a fist fight. Not even for 1 second have I ever cheered for that. Not for 1 second. But tonight will be the first time, and I'm wearing red. Pablo Lopez, last start at home over the Nationals, and he's very good at home. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 9 Ks, and 11-2 win at home. Pablo Lopez has always had an issue on the road. let's pull up his splits right now and see exactly what we are talking about with these splits. Here we go. Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez, 2.87 ERA, 1.08 whip on the season. Let's go to his full splits right now. Here we go. At home, he has a 2.01 ERA. Opponents are hitting 201 against him. On the road, he has a 4.10 ERA, and opponents are hitting 264 against him. He's only allowed 4 home runs and 53 2/3 at home. On the road, he's allowed 5 home runs and 37 1/3. Sharpie says, I'm leaning full game under. Miami just isn't hitting, and I think Lopez can hold his own. Last 15 days, Marlins and Braves bullpens are 1 and 2. Vitalis says, Smiley, first 5 this season, 8, 3 and 2. He's been doing very well, and now I show the Marlins stacking righties against them today. Robert Allen, this is the first time I've seen the Taint lose 3 in a row. This is the first time I've seen it. So I expect the Taint to cash. So much so I should probably tail it. But I'm already on Braves first 5, and I feel like his team total over is perfectly correlated with my action. Because Taint came into the week at 32 and 17. So I expect Taint. We've seen Taint sweep 2 of the last 3 weeks. Not getting swept. Okay, so back to this spot here, Pablo Lopez. Let's go to baseball data right now, and let's see what KCOH is saying. He said Pablo's ERA is skewed towards early in the season. Last 5 games, he's given up 11 total earned runs. Okay, why don't we go to his game log right here and dissect that even a little bit more, as this is Taint action. So his last 5 starts, 3 of them have been at home, but 2 of them have been tough. One at the Cubs, and he looked very good. And one at the Jays, and he did not look good. Only made it through 4 innings. So, yeah, in his last 5 starts, he has a 3.21 ERA. He's allowed 4 home runs. Piker says you're going against a 39-cent market move backing the Braves. That's not true, Piker, in this situation, because that market move has to do with the opening line that had Zach, what's his name, Thompson pitching. So I looked into that as well. That's just because of the opening line came out at 5 different books and did not have Pablo Lopez as a starting pitcher. So we take that with a grain of salt. But I hear it's important to see this stuff and talk about it. But I looked heavily into that because that scared me as well. Okay, so let's talk about Drew. I wish they did too, Piker. It's bullshit that they don't. So let's go into Drew Smiley, whom I have a soft spot for. When I saw his arm explode pitching for Team USA in the World Cup of Baseball, and he was at his best, I hoped that he would someday come back and pitch like he was pitching. And he hadn't. For years, he was getting torched. He looks good this year. He looks good of late, I should say. This year's stats still aren't great, but they're on the right track. 5 and 3, 4.79 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 67 2/3, 57 Ks, 23 walks, 15 home runs allowed. In his last start at the Reds, who don't hit lefties, but either do the Marlins, he went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, no walks, 3 Ks, and a 3-2 win. Marlins are hitting just 228, 671 OPS versus lefty. The Braves are hitting 234, 746 OPS versus righties, and expect that number to improve. Marlins bullpen 3.52 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. Braves bullpen 4.70 ERA, 1.41 WHIP. But remember what our man Sharpie said, last 15 days, Marlins and Braves are 1-2 in bullpens. And look at Mally Mal. Philly first 5 minus a half. Astros first 5 minus a half. Wow, that's a good price. First 5 minus a half at minus 125. That is a good price, Mally. Makes me want to see what price I have for it. Are you going to offer it? Sorry, very quickly. That's a good price, Mally. No, of course not. I could get him first 7 minus half at minus 140. He's also on White Sox money line, Rockies first 5 over 7 and over 12, Braves first 5 plus a half and money line, Braves money line, Boston Red Sox first 5 minus a half, first 5 and minus a half, and full game money line and minus 1.5. Wow, exciting card. Okay, so back to this spot. I like the way Smiley's been pitching. Let's go to the baseball data. And the baseball data is not going to look good. They're hitting 361 with an 861 OPS for Smiley. But they're 13 for 36 and 2 doubles and 1 home run. And look, he was a train wreck for a few years. I like the way he's pitching now. Against Pablo Lopez, they've seen a ton of him. 262 with a 751 OPS. So who hits him? Acuna, 7 for 18 with 2 homers. I like that. Freddie Freeman, 8 for 26 with 3 doubles. Now, Ozzie Albies is just 2 for 17 against them. Northander says I lean under, but everyone's saying over. Sharpie says the more I dig, I'm on Braves first 5. Wow, Braves smash Lopez and not hitting left hand, and the Marlins not hitting left-handed pitching. All right, let's see where the cash flow is. And remember, the first when I saw it initially, there was 113 tickets in. That was before the pitching change. Now we have 2,156 tickets. 63% of the tickets on Atlanta, just 40% of the cash. That's worrisome. 51% of the tickets on the under and 79% of the cash. And let's just see if Bookmaker's done any kind of change on this first 5, and then we will move on. So here we go. Bookmaker. First 5. We have them. No moves, though. Just minus 110 aside. And I initially was with you, Sharpie, or was it Sharpie on the under? I was initially on the first 5 under, but the full game moved from 8.5 to 9. And I thought that the first 5 would move from 4.5 to 5, especially if people thought Lopez was going to get hit. This was sitting at 4.5, is sitting at 4.5, and I could see them scoring 5 runs in the first 5. This isn't enough for me. All right. Sharpie says you're giving me Braves first 5 minus 105, all because of Lopez not today. You're getting my money, Smiley. I love it. Okay. Oh, if Dutchy shows up on the screen, that means he's on our Twitter feed. There he is, right there. He's on our Twitter. Our guy Dutch Boy Fresh. Big Dutchy show every day here at 4 p.m. for the NBA Pub Hub. And man, he is a spectacular NBA capper. Okay, so there we go. Taint play today. Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5. At plus 105, that is Taint. So we move on to my 4th and final spot at this point on the card. CT Bay says, I like the Royals tonight, and we know that Peter Loshak would be right with you. He wants to fade J.A. Happ as much as possible, even though J.A. Happ's coming off a nice start. But against the Indians, who can't hit lefties, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, no walks, 7 Ks. Will J.A. Happ get his act together late in the season here? Possibly. 4-3, 5.83 ERA, 1.45 whip, 71 innings, 55 Ks, 23 walks, 14 home runs. If you like the Royals, my action is correlated with that because I'm on the first 5 over 5.5 at minus 115. Let's see if that's changed. So this was a situation where now I'm nervous about this bet. I feel like I possibly was reaching a little bit because this total went from 6 to 5.5. But it wasn't at 6 at all the books. What's the book that opened this at 6? Bookmaker opened it at 6. It lasted there for 9 minutes and went to 5.5. But the other books opened it at 5.5. So, and Chris Demott saying Happ, the 188th best starting pitcher in the league. Look, Loshak's all over fading him. Glenn Man leaning to the over. And I don't fully understand why I wanted that first 5 rather than the full game. Both bullpens are susceptible. But I don't want to double up here. I focused on the first 5. Brady Singer, 3-6, 4.70 ERA, 1.49 whip, 76 2/3, 81 Ks, 33 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 home run, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and a 4-1 loss at the Rangers. 85 Fahrenheit clear, 4 miles per hour in at Kauffman Stadium. The Twins hit righties hard, and Singer is vulnerable. 240, 745 OPS. The Royals don't hit lefties very hard. 248, 694 OPS. Twins bullpen so bad. 4.96 ERA, 1.38 whip. Royals bullpen 4.56 ERA, 1.40 whip. So let's go to baseball data. Then we'll go to market moves. And then we'll see where the cash is. J.A. Happ against Happ, they're hitting 307 with a 923 OPS. And the first thing I want to know is who hits them. I want the big bats to hit them, and they do. Salvi Perez, 9 for 23. He's hitting 391 with a 1.348 OPS against them. 4 home runs and 23 at-bats against them. Then there's Hanser Alberto, 8 for 22 with 2 doubles and 2 homers. And then Carlos Santana, 9 for 20 with a double. Those are the big bats, and they hit them, and I like it. So let's take a look at against Brady Singer. 316 with an 892 OPS. So 18 for 57 with 3 doubles and 2 homers. Kepler 3 for 8. Sano 2 for 8. Cruz 2 for 6. It's not huge. Griffin says good hitting weather, bad pitchers both hit the opposing pitchers well. Bad bullpens, both teams capable of scoring runs. I like the over. You know, the more I look back at this game, I probably should have moved on the full game rather than the first 5. Let's see where the cash is. And let's see where the market's gone here. Oh, we've already done the market, so let's see where the cash is. Okay, cash here for the Royals Twinkies. 61% of the tickets on the money line on the Royals, 70% of the cash. Very interesting. Then we have 65% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the over. That makes sense to me. But if all that money's on the over, why is this total not going up? Let's just look at the full game total at a book like Pinnacle, and then we'll move on from this spot. Here we go. KC over. So there's a few books here at 9.5. Why would that be? That's scary. Pinnacle's still at 10. But Bookmaker opened it at 10.5, then it went to 10, then to 9.5. I don't love this bet. The market is not correlating with the under here, and then I think if I could go back, I would probably not be on it. But I'm on the first 5 over 5.5 at minus 115. And I am nervous. Feels like I'm going to lose this by a hook. Sharpie says, Royals are a can't play for me. They have scored more than 4 just 2 times last 10 days. They're not scoring runs. It's disgusting. Well, hopefully they can wake up against J-Happ. But maybe J-Happ has a good start here. He's coming off of a good start. This one makes me nervous. And I think I had Lodels in my head there with his need to fade J-Happ. All right. Luke Murphy, much love to you. Congratulations on getting your second shot. May you travel all over the world. May you have book signings all over the world, my man. Chris Mutt says Singer can pitch. I like Singer in the long run, but he's not been that good of late. And Piker says don't want to back the Royals for obvious reasons, but the money's on them. Total looks sharp. I'm off. Okay, and Griffin says don't overthink it. I like it. Well, there's nothing I can do. It's in. Okay, we move on, and those are my 4 bets, so I have made no additions at this point. 8:10 p.m. Eastern, St. Louis Cardinals 40-42, 17-24 on the road at the Colorado Rockies, 35-47, 29-16 at home. We have Ron Crawford in the house. Great to see you, Ronnie. Coors Field, Denver, Colorado, 86 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour, out to right field. We have Johan Oviedo, 0-4, 5.23 ERA, 1.58 whip, 43 innings, 35 Ks, 25 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 earned runs, no homers, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and a 7-2 loss at home. Versus the Pirates, he did not look good. Chichi Gonzalez, 2-5, 5.81 ERA, 1.45 whip, 69 2/3, just 41 Ks, 20 walks, 12 home runs. He had a pretty nice start at Milwaukee last start. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. The Cards don't hit righties, 223, 664 OPS, and the Rockies don't either, 236, 684 OPS. Cards bullpen, 4.21 ERA, 1.40 whip. Rockies bullpen, 5.35 ERA, 1.52 whip. Griffin says, starting to like back in the Rockies at home, they just play with a different energy there. I have bet on the Rockies for 4 straight games, and they're 4-0 in those games, but I'm 2-0-2. I've taken 2 of those bets have been first 5s, and they've pushed. I think I'm actually 3-0-2 because I doubled up on one of them first 5 full game that both cashed. And spreadsheet play today, Cincinnati. I like seeing that, Ronnie. I like seeing that. CT Bay says I might bet every Rockies game, bet on at home under or to lose on the road. Look, Von Polo has been on the betting the Rockies at home train heavy, and he's been taking the -1.5, and he's had huge scores. Sharpie says I've seen a 7 one time this year for the first time, and they had 12 runs in 3 innings. Okay, so we have teams that don't hit righties hard. We have vulnerable pitchers on the mound. Let's take a look at the market move, and then we'll go to baseball data. So we start with the total opening up at 11.5 and now at 12.5, and it's at 12.5 with minus 113 to the over. So a big move to the over at Pinnacle, a full run. From a side standpoint, let's move over there right now. From a side standpoint, we have Colorado opening up at minus 108. Now they're at minus 104. So a 4-cent move to the Cardinals. So we'll go to baseball data. Rockies haven't seen Oviedo, and the Cardinals are hitting 297 with an 840 OPS against Chitchat. Goldschmidt 3 for 8 with a homer. Arenado just 0 for 2. So we move over to the cash, and this will tell the tale here. We have 67% of the tickets on the Rockies, 65% of the cash, and a 4-cent move over to the Cardinals. We have 56% of the tickets on the over and just 17% of the tickets on money on the over, but we have to take that with a grain of salt because this total's been going up and up and up, so we don't know exactly when these bets came in on the under. It doesn't tell us that. So what's the move? The move tells me that the Cardinals are going to win today. But the Cardinals are 17-24 on the road. The Rockies are 29-16 at home. And I don't want to sit here with the hoping that the Cardinals find some offense against a righty. But a 4-cent move over to St. Louis. And remember, we're not going to talk about what happened yesterday or the day before. So who cares that the Rockies are on a 4-game winning streak? I don't care. But why would there be a 4-cent move over to the Cardinals if, how much was that of the money? If 69% of the tickets and 65% of the cash are on the Cardinals. Or sorry, on the Rockies. CT Bay says Rockies full game. Sharpie says I'm going no run first inning, then taking a live bet to the over when I get it at 10.5. Griffin says hard to back the Cards, but they seem like the right side. The market is telling us that the Cardinals are the right side. But I don't want to trust Johan Oviedo. If I had a free bet, I'd make it immediately on the Cardinals. But I don't want to. Rockies are playing good ball. Cardinals can't hit. We move on to 9:38 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles at Los Angeles Angels. There's just a few games left on this card, and then we talk hockey, baby. Big game. Big game. Orioles, Angels, 75 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour out to center. We have Keegan Aiken going up against Griffin Canning. Keegan Aiken, the lefty, 0-4, 7.11 ERA, 1.61 whip, 38 innings, 35 Ks, 15 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 1/3, allowed 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and a 12-4 loss at Toronto. Griffin Canning is 5-4, 4.95 ERA, 1.42 whip, 60 innings, 62 Ks, 26 walks, and 12 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings. He allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, no homers, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and a 4-3 loss at the Rays. Orioles versus righties, just 221, 665 OPS. And the Angels hit lefties hard, 252, 762 OPS. Both bullpens are atrocious. Orioles 4.82 ERA, 1.39 whip, and climbing in fast. Angels bullpen 4.79 ERA, 1.44 whip. There's my guy, Gas Station Sushi, in the house. A lot of love Jose's getting for our new graphics. I love it. Okay, so we'll go to baseball data. Angels have never seen Aiken. And against Canning, only 8 at-bats, 3 for 8 against Canning. Let's see where the market is done on this spot. Move back to money lines and totals. And here we go. So the Angels open up at minus 168. They're now minus 175. A 7-cent move towards them, and the total's gone from 9 to 9.5. The market move towards the over makes a ton of sense. Now let's see where the cash is. We have 4,110 tickets in. 63% of the tickets on the Angels and 63% of the cash on the Angels. Look at this. 30% of the tickets on the under and 78% of the cash on the under, and it's gone up a half run. So 63% of tickets on the Angels, and yet there's some hope that, only a 7-cent move towards the Angels is interesting. Could the Angels be tired from flying across the country? Piker says there's a very nice overlook. Bum fights all game, starters, pens, you have hitters that can rake, go over. Griffin says lean Angels here. Big morale win the other night over the Yankees, and they hit lefties well. Aiken's not somebody I want to back. I don't think it all lines up just because there's so much money on the under. 78% of the cash on the under. So that doesn't all line. That's the one thing that doesn't all line up to me. But CT Bay says Aiken is awful over. I've seen Aiken have some nice starts. And when Aiken went up against the Indians the first time, the Indians hadn't seen him, he looked great, and I cashed the first 5 under easily. T says I like the over in the Angels. This doesn't all add up for me. I don't know why the Angels aren't bigger favorites. I don't know why there isn't a bigger market move towards them. DC says overs 8-1 Orioles last 9 games have started with a whip greater than 1.30. We have that here. Canning's whips at 1.42. Christopher Comatini says Angels rake lefties. They do. So, and Glenn Mann says Orioles off the 3-game sweep at Houston. This is a no move for me. But I can understand what people are seeing in the Angels. I just don't want it. DC says I see batting practice game over. And first 5 under full game over for Sharpie. Wow. Okay, so next up we have 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Boston Red Sox 51-31, 24-14 on the road at the Oakland A's, 48-35, 26-20 at home. And when you say Boston Red Sox, our producer on the ones and twos, Jose, will appear. Yesterday, he picked both rainouts. We capped them fully, and he wasted our time. He didn't care about our time yesterday. He just wanted to wax poetic on games that were never going to be played. I expect more from him today. I expect him to cap games that will be played. And it's nice weather in Oakland. 61 Fahrenheit, clear 11 miles out to center. Please welcome to the show our man and yours, star of the Say Hey play of the day, Jose in the house. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, again, still depressed since I have not picked a winner, but we're rolling. It's going to be great. I'm going back to the well. I'm going back to my comfort zone, and I can't wait.
Well, I can imagine that it's fading Eduardo Rodriguez, and that was my initial thought. This is one of the games I was going to bet on the overnight, but a huge market move towards the Red Sox, and they're playing good baseball. So maybe it's not fading Eduardo Rodriguez. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, so the last couple of days, I've chosen sides on first 5s, and I've just been getting brutalized. Because there's just all these runs. And I've told you about my theory of the juice balls and all that good stuff combined with the spin rates going down, offense is up, and we know that. It's just obvious stuff. So overs are the play, Jimmy. Overs are the play. And I'm not taking it over here. I'm taking the first 5 over here, Jimmy. First 5 over 4.5 in this game. I think, honestly, if Eduardo has a bad start, he can give us all those 5 runs by himself. He's had a bounce back-ish kind of start, did well against the Yankees. I don't know if we can really count that because the Yankees are a AAA baseball team right now, but I'm just not really sold on Eduardo's, all the way backness. On top of that, Frankie Montas has been a completely different pitcher these last couple of weeks, especially all of his spin rates are down. He gave up 8 earned runs, I believe, to the Texas Rangers, and that's just sad. Yeah, 8 earned runs and 5 2/3 to the Rangers. A good start against the Giants, coming back with 5 and 2 earned. But I just really think that we'll see offense tonight.
So are you attacking the first 5 or are you attacking the full game?
First 5 over. I'm taking the first 5 over 4.5, Jimmy. And that's at minus 103 at Pinnacle currently.
The first 5 over a minus 103.
Oh, let me actually changed on me. It's first 5 over 4.5. No, I said 4.5. Just kidding.
Yeah, 4.5. I got minus 104.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take it.
Interesting. So it opened at 4.5 at minus 100. the first bets came in on the under. It got up to plus 102 within an hour, and then into the minuses again. Why? Why is this not a 5? It's a very confusing spot. Against Rodriguez, these A's hit 284 with an 848 OPS. And against Frankie Montas, 406 with a 1.250 OPS. Why would money be coming on Rodriguez? He is coming off a nice start. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 0 walks, 8 Ks, and a 9-2 win at home versus the Yankees. Is that a turning point for his season? Montas actually coming off an okay start, and I know the Rangers start you speak of, but his last start, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and a 6-5 extra inning loss at the Giants. The Red Sox smashed righties at 260, 773 OPS. The A's are okay against lefties, 235, 717 OPS. Red Sox bullpen 3.42 ERA, 1.38 WHIP. Pete Loshak has talked about not expecting offense from teams after an offensive explosion. A's bullpen 4.23 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, and they put up 15 runs yesterday. That's what I speak of. Christian Larson says pitchers ballpark and A's haven't hit lefties well lately. Jerry B says 8.5 is a huge number in the Oakland Park.
But I'll tell you, I've seen these A's and Red Sox play a couple times this year too. The A's always seem to hit and play the Red Sox well. I honestly would lean towards the A's winning tonight as well. I know this Red Sox 7-game win streak. We're playing some great ball and all that, but the A's are a tough squad for the Red Sox. They're built in a way where they can play them well. So I do think that the A's will win tonight. It'll be a good game. And I could easily see this being like a 10-8 or something like that. Some ridiculous number like that. Because like I said, I'm telling you, Jimmy, these balls are different. The pitchers they're flying more. And I understand Oakland's not your pitcher's park. You have all that foul ground. It screws you all the time. But I think we can see some runs today. But saying that, I've been the coldest man on earth. But Jimmy, I would like to remind you, 2-0 on rainout picks.
You mean successfully guessing that there's going to be a rainout?
No, 2-0 in those picks. I mean, come on, Jimmy. Those are 2 dominant starts. And if Matty Ice is right, he's calling for rain today now that we've jinxed it. We'll be 3-0, Jimmy.
I believe that's 0-0. I believe that's 0-0. 63% of the tickets on the Red Sox, 62% of the cash. So we can clearly understand why there's been a market move towards Red Sox. A little surprising. It's such a big market move. Then we have 66% of the tickets on the over, but just 50% of the cash. So much about this game makes me uncomfortable. So much makes me uncomfortable.
How uncomfortable? Can you describe it to me?
Yeah.
Like a poop in the pants or?
Good question. Yeah, soupy dumps.
I was just wondering if it was like full poops to swamp ass to like brand new underwear.
This is not the direction I want to go in, Jose. But I will cheer you on. Jose is on the first 5 over 4.5 at -104. I will cheer you on. Glenn Alley says 10 miles per hour wind blowing out in Oakland helps it over a little. It swirls in that huge outfield. It's not as I've got 11 miles per hour at the center. Mark Valdvari having a final score of Oakland 5, Boston 1. This game makes me very uncomfortable, but I will cheer you on. Jose, my man, great work with the graphics.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I ask you a question before we head out?
Yes, you can.
You're one of my fathers. Why haven't we had a game of catch?
Because I'm embarrassed by you. I'm embarrassed.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
You're an inside son.
That's when you're right, you're right. I can't argue with that.
Much love to you, though, Jose, my man. There's the say hey play of the day. First 5 over 4.5 at -104. We move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern action. San Francisco Giants 50-30, 24-19 on the road at the Arizona Diamondbacks, 23-60, 13-24 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. The roof will be closed. Alex Wood going up against Zach Gallen. Alex Wood, 6-3, 3.91 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, 71 in the third, 73 Ks, 22 walks, and 9 home runs. Last start, at home versus the A's. He went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks. I've had a very difficult time figuring out when he's going to be good and when he's going to get touched. Gallen on the other side, 1-3, 3.69 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 39 innings, 46 Ks, 18 walks, and 4 home runs. Last start, he went 4 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and a 5-4 loss at the Padres. Turnsy says, Jimmy, that dad that says go play catch with the wall. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to play catch, and Jose just wasted a lot of our time yesterday, so I'm still a little agitated. The 5 czar lock of the day: Dallas Wings +3 from our guy the Czar. 5 czar lock. But look what Jose's done with the grab. Jose is a huge asset to our show. I'll put that right under the Rusty Kuntz play of the day, which is Montreal money line. That's the Habs, of course. Okay, so Gallen, last start at the Padres, couldn't get through 5, but didn't look bad. 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Couldn't get the strikeouts when he needed it. Giants versus righties, 241, 756 OPS, but they're dealing with injuries, and the injuries are hurting them. Diamondbacks versus lefties, 243, 735 OPS. Giants bullpen so much stronger than the Diamondbacks bullpen. Let's see what the market move has done in this spot. This total at 4.5. It opened to the over at -112. The over is now at +107. So expecting a nice pitching duel here between those two starters. At least the market is pointing at that. This total is open at 9, has gone to 8.5. From a money line perspective, we have these Giants opening up at -134, now at -139. We're going to go into the baseball data, but let's look at the cash here just while all those numbers are fresh in our head. 83% of the tickets on the Giants, 87% of the cash. And then this 5-cent move at Pinnacle. That's strange. And then we have 53% of the tickets on the over, 88% of the cash on the over, and it's gone from 9 to 8.5. Another thing that's quite strange. Okay, let's go to the baseball data here. Baseball data against Wood, they're hitting 191 with a 574 OPS. Against Gallen, 217 with a 684 OPS. So you have to think that if Gallen can get through 5 against the Giants, that the Diamondbacks bullpen is what's going to hurt them. We had Nutflush Allen tell us about how whenever Arizona, and he's our San Francisco Giants expert, whenever these two teams play each other, it seems like the scores skyrocket. And there's a ton of offense. I was on the first 5 under yesterday, and it didn't catch, and then the full game did go under. I can understand why this first 5 total is moving to the under. Look, they don't hit. Diamondbacks hit lefties hard, but they don't hit Wood, and they still don't have Ketel Marte in the lineup. And then Gallen's able to get these righties for the Giants out, and their Giants have a ton of injuries right now. I'd like to see just what my book is offering this first 5 under at. I'm hesitant to go back to the well, but first 5 under 4.5 at -120. Sharpie's on the San Francisco team total over 4.5. Take out if Wood is good and give me Gallen on the spin list to be getting smacked on the Arizona bullpen. Best bet of the day. Gallen doesn't get through 5 minus. Okay, that'll be easy for me to stay off. Okay, we move on to the final game on the card. This was another strange one, and leave it to the Texas Rangers to always have these crazy market moves that are very difficult to explain, and they're a difficult team to handicap. Rangers are 32-49, 12-28 on the road at the Mariners, 43-39, 24-16 at home. We're at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. Keon Jackson, the taint play of the day is the Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5 at +105. 80 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour in. Kyle Gibson, 6-0, 2 ERA, 1.01 whip, 74 Ks, 90 innings, 26 walks, and 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks, 8-0 win at home versus the Royals. He's pitching so well. Going up against Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert, who will likely be on a very short leash, so it's probably a bullpen day. Is there a primary? I'd be very interested to see if there is a primary. Let's just get over there right now and see if there is a primary. I don't know if any of you guys know if there is a primary. We'll move as fast as we can to find this information out for us. Here we go. Is there a primary today? No, it is just Logan Gilbert. Okay. Mark Valdvari giving us the final score of Giants 4, Diamondbacks 0. Interesting. Pierre Suarez helping you with that. Braves team total over. Okay. CT bases Mariners 12-2 straight up versus Texas. 5 in a row at home versus the Rangers. The Rangers 236.90 OPS versus righties. Mariners even worse. 218, 678 OPS. Rangers bullpen 4.54 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. Converted 16 of 28. Mariners bullpen 4.31 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. Converted 22 of 38. So Rangers open up at minus 110. Now they're at plus 105. So it must be the fact that the Mariners are playing good ball and beating these Rangers. How could there be that kind of a market move when you have by far the Rangers' best pitcher on the mound? It is confusing, to say the least. Let's go over the totals here. With this total, we have it opening at 8, juice to the under. It still is, but there has been a 3-cent move towards the over. Okay, so let's go to baseball data. Against Kyle Gibson, they're hitting 328 with an 867 OPS. So maybe that's part of the explanation here. They're 20 for 60 with 5 doubles and 1 home run, and the Rangers have never seen Gilbert. So let's go over to the cash. And when we get to the cash here, we see that 2,673 tickets in, 41% of the tickets on the Mariners, and 15% of the cash. So why is the market moving towards the Mariners? It's crazy. 57% of the tickets on the over, 64% of the cash on the over. This is a very easy stay off spot. Sharpie says, I'm off this game, but Gibson's been touched by the teams who have hit him the past year, even with that 2 ERA. Uncool likes the Rangers money line. Glenn Mann says, wasn't there an old low-bagger trend about Mariners' first game home from a road trip? I vaguely remember that. John Chow says, can we have a gas station sushi play today? Gas always tells us when he's making a max bet. So, but look, we'll mention that to the legend gas station sushi that the Cappers are looking for a play of the day from the legend. Sharpie says, oh, yeah, I'm off this game. But, yeah, I find it look, I'm not going to – I wish I should start tracking all of these. I mean, look, I've got pages and pages of spreadsheets, and one's going to be a few more. But spreadsheets take a ton of time, and Pete used to battle with his spreadsheets because it just takes so long. But I'd like to know how successful these moves are. And when we go over everything, I do think Montgomery and the Yankees are the look, but I'm not going to go up against Taijuan Walker. So there's going to be no additions for me. This has happened only one other time so far this year where I haven't made an addition. I have 4 baseball bets that I've already made, and I'm going to run with those. I'm on the Phillies first 7 minus a half at minus 110. I wish I could get a minus or first 5 run line. Then I'm on, and I completely get the market move towards the Pirates, but I'm not going to take the ass end of the line. And I understand why people are on the Yankees. And I wish I could take the under in the Rays-Jays game, but I'm not going to do that with the rain. Then I'm on the Reds, first 7 minus a half at minus 135. I wish I could get a first 5 minus a half. And I do think that's my favorite bet of the day, although I like the Phillies and Reds first 5 very much. Then I have a move that correlates with the taint play of the day. Oh, and by the way, the Dirty K prop of the day is Montgomery over 4.5 Ks. The taint play today is Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5 at plus 105. I'm on the Braves first 5 at minus 110. And so my favorite 2 spots are the Phillies and the Reds. My third favorite spot is the Braves first 5 minus 110. And the bet I'm uncomfortable with is the Minnesota KC first 5 over 5.5 at minus 115. Those are my 4 bets in MLB. I'd like to cap this week off. It's been a frustrating week. We started off okay on Tuesday. We went at 7-5, about 1.45 units. We lost our shirt on Wednesday, down 6.06 units. And then on Thursday, yesterday, we ended up down 0.35 units. So it's been a frustrating week. And I'd like to end strong. So that's my action. So it is now time to move from the baseball diamond to the ice rink. And there is excitement on ice here in Canada. The Montreal Canadiens facing a must-win situation in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And I think I mentioned already that there's never been 1 second that I've cheered for the Habs in my entire life. Tonight will be the first time. Tonight will be the first time that I cheer for the Habs. I've even had money on them in the past and not cheered for them. That's how much I have been taught to despise the Habs. Now, let me tell you, I despise the Leafs just as much, maybe more. Maybe a little less because I live here. Maybe a little less, to be honest with you. But I despise the Flames. And I despise the Oilers. And fucking hate the Jets. I hate every Canadian team that's not the Vancouver Canucks. Please welcome Belleville, Ontario's finest, Mr. Gogster in the house to talk Stanley Cup Finals. Game 3. Gogster, how are you?
Good day, Jimmy. Everybody, let's get her going here. I'm not like Jim. I don't hate every Canadian team, but I've been a Toronto fan, so I don't own any Montreal product, guys. Worked at a sports store. I got the Minnesota North Stars on my head. You got everything else in the sun, but just the Habs. This is the first time I'm with you, Jim. It's different, eh?
It's different. And I think, I like the American teams. I think of the Minnesota North Stars. I think of Dino Ciccarelli doing the 3 chops at the head. I think of the North Stars. I think of Pavel Bure's elbow to Churla's face, knocking Churla out, and I like it. Brian Lawton and the boys in Minnesota. But I despise all Canadian teams because that's how my dad raised me. Let's talk about this spot right here, Gogster. And finally, we get to see what the Habs can do with their head coach and last change.
Exactly. That's huge. Get Suzuki out. They can just throw him out on that third line. Tampa throws that third line and we'll sneak out Suzuki on the guys. That second game too, Jim, God, do they ever play much better, eh? Suzuki, Caulfield, and Toffoli. They had a really good second game there. But Vasilevsky, this guy's got, testing for performance-enhancing drugs because this guy doesn't flinch.
2 goals on 62 shots. 2 goals on 62 shots. Slatsy says 10,000 fans not allowed inside with masks, but 40,000 fans outside, no masks, no distancing allowed. Welcome to Quebec.
What are we doing? Like, honest to Jesus.
It's too bad. I wish they would just allow an extra 5K in there.
It's Quebec.
Yeah.
It's Quebec. If there's one place that should do it, guys, in Canada, it's Quebec. They're the most lenient on anything. I'll tell you that right now, hey, Jim.
The Rusty Kuntz play today is Montreal at plus 120. Okay, I've already bet this, and I'm excited about my action, and I will go over it in a second. First, let's talk about the market we see ourselves in, and let's talk about the cash. Then I'll say what I'm on, and then we'll hand it over to Mr. Gogster to see what.
I saw what you were on, Jim. I saw what you were on.
The Habs open at plus 116 and now plus 117. So one thing I found interesting is that the market has finally corrected itself. I'm shocked that the Lightning would be smaller favorites than the Vegas Golden Knights. It was just a ridiculous, but it took this long for the market to correct itself. Okay, sure, we'll give it that. Now we have the total at 5. It opened the under at minus 103. Now it's at minus 102. So these are the lowest numbers that you will see on a 5 anywhere. And also notice the mainly Canadian book, like Bet365's got it at minus 115. Pinnacle's already moved it to minus 123. Pinnacle must think that there is some offense possible.
Wow, that's to the over. Okay.
Let's go to where the cash is. We have 5,876 tickets in. On the money line, 58% of the tickets on the Habs, but 60% of the cash on the Lightning. Then we have 57% of the tickets on the under, but 58% of the cash on the over. So that is interesting. I think that this last change is going to help enormously. I think Danault has got to be the best defensive forward in the league.
Damn right.
Which I don't think he quite is, but he's going to have his opportunity to showcase all of that skill. I think Carey Price has got to stand on his head. I expect the Montreal Canadiens to do what they did in Game 2, completely outshoot the opponents, get everything on net. And if that's the case, I already bet the Lightning first period under a half at minus 105 and the Lightning team total under 2.5 at plus 105. Northander says 2-2 series heading back to Tampa. Let's go.
Let's go.
Gogster, how are you betting this?
All right, guys, this is a tough one here, to say the least. I got points here. We got points for Montreal. First one's going to be find a way to not turn the puck over in the neutral zone. They're getting 2. If they lose the puck in the neutral zone, Jim, you can't have Point and company coming back 3-on-2s. That's what's been killing them. They haven't been getting the puck down deep. They're kind of doing what they did to Vegas last game. Crisp passes. A lot of their passes have been pretty – this is more in the first period last game. They didn't have crisp passes. They were turning the puck over, like I said. And Tampa Bay in this series, guys, they got 11.5 takeovers on average, I believe. So they've been taking they're strong on these takeovers, Tampa Bay. So Montreal have to be crisp with these pucks. Obviously, another one, stay out of the box. They got to stay out of the box. With that being said, though, they've really stifled this Tampa Bay team, guys. 12.5% 16.7% in this series, but on the road, Tampa Bay is only 12.5% on their power play. 9 of their 10 goals on the road since June, guys, have been on 5-on-5, Jim. Only 1 goal on the power play on the road for Tampa Bay. So that's one thing to keep in mind. They haven't been scoring nearly as much. They score 30 goals for at home and only 10 goals away. That's a crazy discrepancy. That's in June, guys. And 8 goals against on the road, 13 at home. So they don't score nearly as much. I expect this to be a much better defensive game from Montreal. I love your plays, Jim. Tampa Bay, I'm with you. Already bet it. Plus 108 I got at Pinnacle. No goal from Tampa Bay, guys, in the first period. And with that being said, if Montreal wants to win this game, they're 100%. They're 5 for 5 when they're leading at the end of the first period, guys, in June. So they got to lead at the end of the first. If it's 0-0 at the end of the first period, Jim, it's not a good sign for Montreal. They need to get one in the first period. They got to get the crowd involved and just stifle this Tampa Bay team, which I think they can do in the first period. I'm also going to bet Montreal in the first period, guys, on the money line. If it is 0-0 or if it does go 0-0, we get our money back. But like I said, I expect Montreal. I got that at plus 105. Yeah, plus 105 Montreal first period. It's at home. There's no reason not to. This is the Montreal recipe, guys. They've been doing it all playoff long, especially at home. They come out strong, get that first goal, play that defensive-minded hockey. One thing I don't like, though, Jim, is Merrill's in. He's a completely defensive guy on that third line. No offense you're getting from him. So they didn't want Ramanov going in because he's a little shaky on the D end. So they got to get that lead, then just play really good accountable hockey the rest of the game. And I also play, Jim, instead of the team total under full game 2.5, I did regulation at minus 121 in case the game goes 2-2, guys. We've already cashed it. Minus 121, Tampa Bay Lightning, team total under 2.5. That's my 3 plays for this game.
Oh, I like it. I like it. It correlates with my action. The Killorn loss was big.
We talked about
this
that.
Lightning team does not have as much depth as you might think. Matthew Joseph came in. He played 6 minutes, so they were not comfortable with Matthew Joseph out there. Now, Killorn did travel with the squad. North Ender says Montreal looked great last game, and even though the yell stung, confidence was built. Perry, Stahl, Weber, Price should be able to have this team ready to go.
Yeah.
I expect that.
That second period goal, guys, you saw that with 0.3 seconds left, Jim. They scored a goal there, Tampa Bay. It was a greasy goal, just another little turnover in the neutral zone. Quick coming back. Deneau had to come back and get the trailer. Just missed them. They scored kind of a fluky goal, got underneath Price. There's been a lot of weird tip-ins. Like Tampa Bay haven't been scoring they haven't been just beating Price. They've been a lot of kind of fluky goals. Same with Tampa Bay and Vasilevsky. His one goal he let in last night, Wednesday, was a weird goal through the 5-hole. So another thing for Montreal, they got to get more guys in front of the net. If you leave Vasilevsky, Jim, that clear sight, he's going to save it every time. You've seen it all playoffs. You got to bang around. You got to bang. You got to get someone not running Vasilevsky, but you got to get him off his game. You got to make him uncomfortable because it doesn't matter what you do. They look so good in periods 2 and 3, but the guy was so comfortable in the net. So Montreal have to have a lot more bodies in front. And like you said, without Killorn, you got Joseph on the fourth line. Colton was a little banged up too last game. And you got Tyler Johnson now on the second line with Cirelli and Stammer there. So it's they're shaking up their lines too right now. I like this team total under with Tampa Bay, Jim. If they do win, I see Tampa Bay winning a really low scoring game. That's what they've been doing really all series or all playoffs on the road. Just let's roll with Montreal here. We got the red on first period Montreal. I lean towards the full game as well, guys. Montreal money line. I just can't bet it right now. Just for what Vasilevsky's done. If it does go 2-2, we've already cashed the Tampa Bay team total under in regulation. So it's going to be interesting, guys. I went 0 for 6 there on that going for Montreal in game 5, lost 5 units. So we got to be a little cautious just because of how good Vasilevsky's been, Jim. They got to have more bodies in front of the net, and they can't turn the puck over.
I like the breakdown. North Ender says Montreal 11-0 when scoring 2 or more goals. Got to get to 2, boys. Slats 45 says sticking with the under 5 and over 1.5 goals in the second period. Cashed both last game. Yeah. Love that under 2.5. Tampa. Jimmy also on Habs first period money line plus 108.
I like that, guys.
Both
under 5. Sorry, Jim. Under 5.5 looks. I can't see this game going 6 goals. I think it's minus 160, but Jesus, I don't see it going over 5.5.
Both games, the Habs have been down just 1 goal going into the third period, and yet it feels like they were beaten so badly in Tampa. And when Northander says Perry, Stahl, Weber, Price should have his team ready to go, it's Perry and Weber that will have this team ready to go. I've not heard enough out of Stahl, and Price is that sort of a silent leader, but great leader. But it's Perry and Weber that will really be vocal in the dressing room.
Yeah, I could even see Gallagher too.
So there are some questions about the Conn Smythe, what the odds are right now. And I think it was Glenn Elliott Mann asking about it. We have Vasilevsky at minus 200. That's live right now. Carey Price at plus 1,200. Obviously, because, Habs are down. Kucherov at plus 225. Point at plus 600. Stammer at plus 6,600. And then, so on. When we go to I
like Braden Point. That'd be my guy. Other than Vasilevsky, would be Point. If he can get some goals going in that crazy run he had, Jim. Point, he had 9 goals, 8 goals in a row, consecutive goals. So
Habs to win the series right now, plus 1,000, 10-1.
Well, it might be worth a flyer if we think they can win this one. That's dropping down to what, 5-1, 4-1, 6-1, Jim?
Yeah. Mike Anderson says Jimmy's stat about losing game 1 and winning the cup has me thinking of a Habs to win the cup spot.
If they could, it's all what happens with the goalie. This goalie's been like a brick wall. If they can start getting at some of those bricks, start getting some holes in that wall, but they haven't. This guy's been so. I compare Vasilevsky guys to a Russian wall. I don't know why I say Rush just because he's Russian, but he's solid until they can start breaking it down. And if maybe it happens game 3, maybe he gets hurt, maybe they figure something out. His glove side is his weakest spot, Vasilevsky. A lot of those European guys, they're not as good with the glove side. So, it wouldn't be the worst couple bucks I think you could throw, because if they start breaking them down, this could be a series 2-2 going back to Tampa Bay. Ooh-wee.
It's got to take it one game at a time. Another problem is that we just need last change. There's a lot of problems that are going to rear their ugly head when the Lightning have last change.
Yeah.
And some decisions have to be made. But then again, you had the Habs in Tampa without their head coach, without being able to make last change. And
just going to say that.
And that's a very difficult situation. So, and look, they played a little sloppy. The bounces didn't go their way.
No.
I'd be interested to see what happens if some bounces go their way. And I am like you. I don't want to bet on the Habs to win the game, but obviously my action is correlated with the Habs winning the game.
Pretty much, exactly.
And the team total under 2.5 has moved against me. It's now at plus 110 at Bet365. I got it at plus 105. And between my two bets, my favorite bet is the Lightning team total under 2.5 because just one unlucky bounce can hurt me in that first period. You can lose the first period and still catch the full game.
Yeah, it's happened a lot.
Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I am going to be at my friend's house. My mom will be in tow. My friend Dave Hemstad struck by lightning on the golf course while playing for Wichita State many years ago. He has a friend that makes hooch, and he's got huge jars of bourbon, huge jars of cinnamon bourbon, vats of it that I will be pouring all over myself and drinking. I'll take a bourbon bath tonight even. Exactly. And I'm very excited.
As you should be, Jim. Enjoy the game. And shout out to Mama Beg.
I will. And she'll be making a couple appearances here as we move forward. She's here for a couple of weeks. She'll be on Razor Sharp's horse racing show on Wednesday with me. Gas Nugent says, I'm not optimistic about Montreal's chances. After what we saw, I mean, I get it. But, a series isn't a series until somebody's lost at home.
That's the truth. Honest to Christ, guys. Until they can win a game. If this game goes 2-2 back to Tampa, then what? The issue is also, not issue, but Ducharme, Jim, he had all those games off. He's figured out. They got to beat him on the road. They got to figure out how the hell they're going to beat him on the road. So,
yes, but let's just take it one game at a time. I like it. Here we go. Mr. Gogster, could you review your action one more time?
Yeah, for sure, guys. We'll go over the action. Anything I missed here? One other thing, too. Tampa Bay have to have a little more shots, Jim. Outshot 97-74 I have in the last 2 games. So Montreal been pushing the pace there. Tampa Bay got to show a little something. And it looks like the Sharps are thinking it's going to be Tampa Bay in the over. Anyways, with that being said, guys, let's cash some tickets. It's a Friday. Tampa Bay with Jimmy, first period, under 0.5. Price and Company coming in hot, not effing around, plus 108. Also, Montreal in the first period. If they win games, guys, they're 5 for 5 after the first period being up. Only issue is Tampa Bay have been perfect. They haven't allowed a damn goal on the road since June in the first period, Jim. So this is going to be the game it happens. They're 0-2 and they're down after the second period. Let's look for Montreal to be leading in the first period, guys. Tampa Bay to get stifled. They got some guys banged up. No Killorn now. They've scored 30 goals at home, only 10 on the road in June. This looks like a Montreal and a team total under for Tampa Bay. Let's pull that trigger.
I love it. And so I only have 6 bets on the entire card today, which I'm fine with. It's enough. It's enough for me to get the palms sweating and the bourbon.
Yeah, I was going to say enough for cold sweats to begin.
Yeah.
So.
I've got the Phillies first 7 minus a half at minus 110. I have the Reds first 7 minus a half at minus 135. I have the Braves first 5 minus 110, and the Kansas City, Minnesota first 5 over 5.5. In NHL, I have Lightning first period under a half at minus 105, and Lightning team total under 2.5 at plus 105. There you have it. We have big shows today in 8 minutes, just 8 minutes. We have Babano and CMAC. Jump over there and check out the Babano and CMAC MLB show. 4 p.m. We have NBA Pub Hub. The last 2 NBA games it's funny how it works out like that later in a series, and it does quite often. Those were the 2 easiest bets of the year. The Suns early and the Bucks, and the team total overs yesterday was just, as easy as gambling gets, which I'm very, very thankful for. Will this day be as easy? Big thank you to our special guest, Mr. Gogster, but a bigger thank you to all you guys in the chat that make the show special. Share your insights, share your humor. Glenn Elliott, Man, North Ender, Slats 45, Trot Wham, Sterling Gentry, Christopher Commentini, Elliot V, Turnsy 66, Johnny K, Jim Rome's a douche.
Jim
Rome's a douche, and has Osby, TC, Mally, Mal.
Mally. Well, there's an OG.
All you guys, we love you very much. Gogster. Michael Van says, since you have bet on, do you ever cash out early? I know that site has the option. Wasn't sure if you lose juice by what happens. I have often cashed out early, but the last few years I've been just solely with my local, and I don't have that option with them. So, but there's nothing wrong with it. You get that cash, lock it down early. It makes sense for big bets, for important bets. For recreational bets, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, like if you got rent on the line or something, and you really need some money, and you're getting nervous, then cash it out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely. Mr. Gogster, could you please let's us into the future, and thank you for all your hard work.
Jim, thanks for having me on as always, brother. It's a Friday. Enjoy the weekend, guys. We'll be back, Tuesday with Mr. Loshak. So
yes, we will.
Should be good times. Everyone, Tease, everyone else we missed. Gas Station, thank you so much. Team total under, Tampa Bay first period under there. Montreal first period, and Tampa Bay team total under 2.5, guys. Check me out on Twitter, Eagle47_. Got the PGA going on right now, MLB, KBO. And as always, guys, Leche, Elos, bookmakers, get that cash.
Milk that shit.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.